right? For me, not because nobody told you, and take away all the age limits and time limits and all that. What do you want for you? Hey, FlipTheScript 2.0, welcome back to another video. Today's topic, as you can tell, is about being a late bloomer. So, if you don't know, I'll give you a little background. I am myself what society would deem as a late bloomer. Um, as I got older, I really hate that term because I feel like we should all be operating on our own system and like our own journey, our own unique journey, but we will get into that because what does that even mean? So, for me, why would I consider myself a late bloomer? Okay, so first things first, I did not graduate with my degree until I was 28, I believe. And I didn't get my first apartment until the age of 25. I didn't get my license until 26. No, I'm lying. I didn't get my license till 20 something, late 20s, right? What else would deem me a late bloomer? Top things that I can measure, but I'm sure I didn't purchase my home until I was in my 30s. Well, until I was 30. So, yeah. Those things society would deem me as a late bloomer because you are supposed to graduate from college at the age of 21. You can drive at 16. You some people move out at the tender age of 18, but definitely 21, right? So I didn't start my big girl career until the age of like late, just late. Okay, late is what society would deem as late, right? Late bloomers still bloom, right? We still bloom, baby. No matter how long it take you, we still bloom. But so during this process, because being a late bloomer, you can feel very discouraged on your journey because your peers will be checking off those dates and those timelines, and you're just sitting there feeling like a failure, right? So what can you do to push through? So I have 5 things for you, 5 tips that you can do and use if you're a late bloomer and you're just stuck and you're feeling like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get all my goals done, right? So I have my paper, y'all, because I'm not playing with y'all, okay? I got the notes. But our first thing that I want you to do is plan, right? So we feel like late bloomers because, like I said, society has been telling us from day one what age we should be doing what, right? So you want to make sure that you sit down with yourself and you come up with your plan. What in your plan is what you want, right? I wanted a degree. I sat down with myself. I had went to college fresh out of high school, right, with the plans that I was going to graduate by 21. And when I became a college dropout, I took a gap year. I took some time off. And during that time off, I was faced with many options. You're going to do A, B, C, or D, right? And so I remember my mother Xing out option D. Option D was to give up. She said, absolutely not. That is not even an option, right? So the other options, they were good, and you know they could very much well be someone else's plan, but that was not my plan. I realized sitting there with myself that I needed a degree to do what I wanted to do, right? So that's step one. Create your plan. You might sit down and realize, the journey that I want to go on, I don't need a degree for it. So what other things can I obtain that can help me on this journey? So you want to come up with your plan. Your plan is your goal, is your why, is the driving force. I want to do X, Y, and Z. period. Right? For me, not because nobody told you, and take away all the age limits and time limits and all that. What do you want for you? Right? So that's step number one. Create your plan. I can't emphasize enough how important that step is, because that step is going to tailor your unique journey. And no one else can tailor their journey for you but you. They can help you like me. I can give you steps. I can give you ideas. I can share my journey with you. But that is your unique journey. And that is the beauty of it. Right? So step 2, you got your plan. Like I said, you know what you want. Step 2 is to create the systems for how you are going to get what you want. Right? So I knew that I wanted X kind of job, right? And so in order to do that and to thrive in that field, I need a degree. So my system was to go back to school and get my degree. So that is when I took my first steps as an adult. Mind you, fresh out of high school, you have no responsibilities, right? You have nothing to do. You go to school. For me, I didn't have to work. My parents said, you go to school, we will take care of you financially. So I did not have to work during college when I first went in straight out of high school. Going back, oh baby, you are an adult with an apartment and you have to work now, right? And so I had to learn, going back to school, I had to learn balance, right? And so, but I knew that I wanted that degree. So I started creating my system. Okay, I have to go back. What college do I want to go to? I know now I need different things than I needed before, right? So I went to schools and they started saying, oh, we have adult programs. Oh, good. I need that, because guess what? Those adult programs are going to have evening classes, right? So your system, you already know what you want. You got your plan. How are we going to get there? That's your system. And you want to create a system that is, once again, unique to your journey. So, for instance, I didn't drive, so I couldn't go to a college campus, even though I did go to a college campus pretty far, but not too far. I wouldn't be able to go out of state because I wasn't driving. So you want to make sure that you're paying attention to those things. Tip is, if you are a person like me and you value convenience, we have to have systems that are tailored to being convenient. I needed to have evening classes because I was working during the day. So I would have got into the problem where nobody had a schedule that was good for me and convenient for my already existing schedule. I probably wouldn't have a degree to this day. So you can add this to all aspects of your life, right? So right now I am on a weight loss journey, and so I love convenience. Okay, that's why we end up at that fast food driveway 9 times out of 10, because you can go order the food, it's done, boom. So what I'm paying attention to is that I am tailoring my systems to have convenience in them, right? So whether that is meal prepping, I might have to get up earlier, whatever I need to do so that the convenience is there, right? I need to be able to have a school that is close by that I can get to, that has the times that I can do that. And it can be with anything, even with getting my driver's license. I needed to go take the test at a nice time, because so you want to make sure that things are convenient for you. We love convenience. We are a society where they will deliver your groceries to you. So to do things that's not going to be convenient for you is going to be hard, and you are not going to like it, right? So make sure your systems are convenient. Is to do check-in. So I got my systems and I got my plan in place. I got my systems. I have all my systems are convenient and they work for me. Now what? You want to make sure that you are constantly checking in with yourself, making sure that every now and then you're like, okay, do I like this school? Is this school for me? Are the classes fun? Do I like this? Do I like whatever your journey is? I'm just speaking from my journey, but whatever your plan was, you want to keep going back to that and making sure that everything is working. So this is our reflection time. This is the time where you are looking, making sure that you don't have to pivot, because sometimes you will get into your plan and your systems and you will have to pivot. Okay, maybe they shut down a school up. I remember I was about to graduate last class. First of all, I had to start from zero, okay, going back to school. And so I remember I had to go get, instead of going straight and get my bachelor's, I went and got my associates. That was first things first. So I remember about to graduate and not having the necessary documents from my previous school to transfer my credits, y'all. And so I had to pivot because in my mind I'm about to graduate, but they're like, no, we need this. And I didn't have the money to afford to buy the transcript, right? Well, to pay, don't even take me there, but it was like some debt from a class or something like that I needed to pay. It was crazy, but needless to say, I didn't have the money to get the transcript. So I had to pivot. And so I forget what happened. First of all, I got another job that, fell into place with my schedule. And so I got the money up to pay for the transcript. But I had to pivot, right? I had to get another job. I had to add. That was not a part of my initial plan. So I had to go back and add to the plan. So that's where your check-ins will do. I recommend weekly check-ins, especially when you first start out on your journey and you want to bloom. Weekly check-ins are going to help. But right now in my journey, I'm doing daily check-ins. Like I might do a to-do list, and then at the end of the day, I'm checking that. Or I know, like, okay, if the plan is to get into school, I need to be calling at least 5 schools today. So now I'm checking in. Did I call those 5 schools? No, I only called 3. Okay, next we'll roll those 2 over to the next. And so check in. Maybe you need a daily check-in, a weekly check-in, monthly check-ins, or once we got into the plan and you got your groove, right? Once you get your groove and you're like, okay, I got this. I'm ready to bloom. I'm good. Things are good. You can start your monthly check-ins, right? And then last but not least, you don't take anything from this video. You don't take anything from this video. This is the part that keep getting us, y'all. That consistency. That consistency is something that I am lacking right now in my weight loss journey. Like I just can't. Like I don't know what it is, but right now we starting over. It's Q2 and we are starting fresh, so I'm not even dwelling on the past, but consistency. Once you start the plan and you got your system, you're checking in, and like I said, you're moving and grooving, continue to do that, y'all, until you reach your goal. I don't care how long it take you. Continue to show up. Continue to be consistent. So consistency. And I have been shouting that, and I will continue to shout that, and I am going to be following it. I am going to be consistent. I'm doing these things for my late blooming weight loss journey that I keep failing at, but I am going to put these systems in place myself, put these tips in place. I am going to put these tips in place myself, and in hopes that you will see them show up on this channel and be like, oh, okay. But yes, as someone who society deemed as a late bloomer, oh, she's too old. No, we ain't having that. Even as a content creator, right? Just started this about 2 years ago. This is my first, last year was my first time really taking it serious and really going off of the ideas that I have in my mind and really seeing things through, like the Thriving in Your 30s series. So even with that though, I would be considered a late bloomer. So it's just like, you can still bloom. You can still show up in those spaces. You are needed, right? It is what you want. And I feel like once you stop thinking about what society wants for you, or like what, your parents want it for you, what your siblings need, what your kids need, and start figuring out what you need, I feel like that's when things just work, right? That's when you feel like, yeah, yeah, I'm a bloom. So, like the flowers behind me, let's bloom. Let's do this. Like, let's really put this work in, y'all, so we can see these results. Put that work in so you can see the results. Don't let nobody tell you that you need to be a certain age, a certain weight, a certain anything to go after your goals. Take that from your plus size 30-something-year-old Zumba instructor, content creator, doula friend. Okay, take it from me. Take it from somebody who's been at the top, got knocked down, was at the bottom, and had to start over, and was put in last place but made it to first. Okay, I am living in some of my dreams. I never thought, like, once I got my degree, that the type of doors that it would open for me. But I am so grateful that I didn't give up, and that I stuck with the plan. So stick with the plan, y'all. Stick with the plan. Create the plan. And once you got the plan, stick to it, okay? And the plan might change, but stick to that plan. All right, bye.